So friends, good evening all of you. Welcome to Shareskills Center for Training and Transformation and its online platform, that is Shareskills Online. So today, just wait for 2 minutes. So welcome to Shareskills Center for Training and Transformation, that is Shareskills Online. We have started this program, Sundayskills, where experts from different fields will be interacting with you, will be sharing their experiences with you, and from career, from health, from education, you can say from corporates, from mindfulness. The experts will be sharing their views and you'll be getting to know new things from them. So today, our guest is Brenda Mendes ma'am, and she is a corporate trainer and a coach. She has worked in many multinational organizations, and I'm glad that we are with her today. So good evening, Brenda ma'am.
Hello, friends, and welcome to this evening. Thank you, Shareskills, for giving me this opportunity to be here. A special welcome to all the students who are here today, because students are very special to me. And you know why? Because they are my best teachers. Also, perhaps some of my trainer friends from IITD may be here. I just want to say to you, thank you very much for taking time out to watch this, and thank you for your support. Before we begin, Vaibhav, can you just tell me how many students we have online? So I know.
No, madam. I'm just checking it. They will be joining. It is a Facebook Live program, no? So they are joining. Okay, I can see some people are coming live. So till that time, let me.
Okay, no problem.
Just my one view on Facebook Live. I'm there. So okay.
Can we
so
go?
talking about this, no. I'm just giving some brief. So talking about this initiative called as Sundayskills. In this initiative, you can say as most of our base is students as well as some professionals. So the idea is that at each and every Sunday, skills from various you can say domains should be shared with you, with experts. Every Sunday, experts will be sharing this platform from different various fields. If you want to know the courses of the experts, or you can if you want to get the updates of what kind of programs are going to happen, then you can visit our website shareskillsonline.com. Apart from that, we have our YouTube channel, Facebook page is here, and you can read our publications of many authors on that particular website. So let's start, Brenda ma'am.
Yes, I've already said welcome to each of you.
Yes. Welcome again, all of you. So first of all, let me talk some things I want to introduce. I have already formally introduced, but being a person, being an entrepreneur, you can say that there are so many things I'm learning from Brenda ma'am, honestly, because she's very specific and she just want everything perfect. Okay, and it is a great experience to learn from her. Okay, I can tell you that for today's webinar, we are preparing. She's just means we are preparing. We had a very, you can say, aggressive kind of preparation, and she wants everything just perfect. So it was a great learning experience from you, Brenda ma'am. I am really happy that in your form, I have got a good mentor as well as a guru. I can say a corporate guru. So thankful for that. I'm thankful for that.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Actually, that's just camouflaging the fact that I pushed him and pressurized him a lot. Anyway, thanks. First of all, let me begin by asking whoever is present, what is the first question that comes to your mind or what you're tempted to ask when you first get introduced to a person?
Yes. See, I have obviously students, and I have attended many webinars and seminars. But the theme of the today's webinar, that winning at work, I have never heard such kind of word, winning at work. So definitely a very different kind of, you can say, topic. Can you tell me what exactly that winning at work means?
Well, I'd like to say that why we have said winning at work, because work is a very important chapter in our life. In fact, that's what I was going to say. The first question we ask anybody when we are introduced to them is, what do you do? And that is because our work and our life are really interconnected, even though we talk about work-life balance. And if you ask me what is important about this topic and why did I choose to speak on it, I'll give you a couple of aspects. But first of all, I want to tell you students, if any of the students have already joined in, please do
Yes, yes,
not.
yes. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Some students have joined. I can see live. Yes.
So all of you students, I'm just going to tell you that whatever I'm going to say now is not to make you afraid or feel demoralized, but just to give you a scenario of what is the present reality. So one of the reasons for this choosing this topic is because the current COVID-19 pandemic has been not just a serious health pandemic, but in many ways an unemployment pandemic as well. You must be reading in the papers every day about the unemployment and job losses all over the country. In fact, the CMIE, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, had estimated that in India itself, so million jobs, 100 million jobs had been lost. And this number is only expected to go up to about 136 million or so. So this is important to keep in mind for all the students and anybody looking for a job at this time. The second perspective is that with COVID-19, the very idea of a job has changed, because a job is no longer somewhere we go, but something we do. And most of us have been forced to work out of home, to work online because of the pandemic and the lockdown. We have no choice. But what I want to tell you also that in fact this change is likely to go forward even in the distance economy after COVID has subsided. You have seen so many companies putting out their statements in the public. TCS has already said that 75% of their employees will work online in a couple of years. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook has said that 50% of their employees will work online by 2025. And if you need anything more, Twitter has said that 100% of their employees will work online 100% of the time forever. But here they've made a nice proviso. What they've said is 100% of their employees will also have the option to come into the office on days when they require it forever. So we are living in interesting times. And to those of you who are students here or graduates or just going to be graduates or entering the workplace, I'd say there's a third reason, a third challenge, which particularly graduates in India face. This is world over, but more so in India. And that is, India has the third largest university population in the world after US and China. Do you know how many students graduate from our universities every year? Would you like to take a guess in the chat box?
Let me guess. Let me guess, Mac. Let me guess. From India. Okay. I guess per year it might be 50 lakhs or something.
20 million. 20 million.
Okay. Nice.
20 million students graduate from India every year. And the problem is that almost 20 to 25% are not yet ready to take up a job. They're not employable because although they have the knowledge and some skills, they don't have some of the employability skills. Because in fact, today, they say that hard skills have become, soft skills have become the hard skills today. So if students lack employability skills like communication, emotional intelligence, growth mindset, they find it difficult to get a job. So this is an extra challenge for you, some of you maybe. But the good news here is that since you are young, you can pick up new skills much better than oldies like me.
No, no,
Over
ma'am.
to
It
you.
is absolutely. I'm not agree with that. That age is just a number, I will say, because as far as at least in your case, I can say that it is not the situation. You are very quick to learn, and whatever technical issues are there, you just pick it up very nicely. So I do not agree with you.
Okay, thank you for that compliment.
Okay.
Let's continue.
So. But see, definitely talking about your corporate experiences and all, would you like to share some of your experiences? Obviously, there might be many experiences. See, my corporate experiences, I was in Mahindra and Mahindra for you can say 2 years. That was my means many memories are associated with M&M, Mahindra and Mahindra. So within the 2 years, I had so many experiences. So and you are here, you have experience. I can say decades of experience you have. So would you like to share some experiences of your corporate life?
That's a good question, but difficult to answer because to share experiences of over 40 decades in 5 minutes would be difficult. But let me try. So I will not actually share experiences, but rather I'll just tell you some interesting things about the people I met and the bosses I worked with. So basically, I worked in 4 companies, and that is the first company was Tata's, the second was Mukundan, the third was Johnson and Johnson, and finally HUL. So the first company, Tata, uh, you all would have heard of Ratan Tata, I'm sure. Yeah. So, well, I had an experience. I had the opportunity to work with him for 3 months, and that was quite a learning experience. But some of you may not have heard or not have heard so much about the JRD Tata. And I really think I was blessed to have a few interactions with him. And I just want to relate one of them, which has remained with me for a long time. It was one day when I was standing at the lift at Air India building on the ground floor, waiting to go up to the third floor, the cafeteria, to have my lunch. But the attendant, the lift man, was not letting me come in easily. And I was a little confused. What was the matter? Until I heard a loud and clear voice, "Let the lady go." And I turned around, and to my utter astonishment, it was the legendary Mr. J.R.D. Tata standing just behind me.
Oh, great! That is very you can say a thrilling experience. I can imagine. Great,
Yes.
such a great person was standing just behind you. Okay,
And
great.
what was great about it, that while the attendant wanted the VIP to get in first, in fact, Mr. Tata was too great a leader for such a show of preference, and he allowed me to get in first. So this is the first lesson actually I think I learned in leadership, and the very fact that I can recall it so well after over 40 years, you can imagine what an impact it had. The second job was with the chairman of Mukundan, and since that was the first time I was working for a chairman, automatically my learning got accelerated because I met so many chairmen of other companies, even the chairman of Bank of America, the chairman of Punjab Bank, who was formerly the chairman of HUL, Mr. P.L. Tandon, used to work just next door.
Okay.
And these were all, real experiences. And since the chairman was also a member of parliament, that gave an added sort of dimension to it. Because I got to meet many political leaders. You may not have heard of George Fernandez, but you would have surely heard of.
No, no, no. I have heard about George Fana. He was a defense minister of India, right?
Yeah. Okay, but
George Fernandez.
you may certainly have heard of Atal Bihari
Hmm.
Vajpayee and Morarji Desai. Well, I got to meet
Yes.
all these people, and that was a great experience. And then, of course, I finally came to my resting home, which was HUL. And HUL opened up the whole universe to me. It was like entering a university, meeting people of such high intellect, talent, mind. And for me, actually, my learning not started, but certainly accelerated there. because whatever came to my table, I would, soak it up, learn it, read. My reading of Harvard Business Review, London Economist, Forbes, McKinsey Quarterly, all these started at that time. And so what I'm trying to say is that my work has actually added value to my life. And I often say I am what I am because of HUL. And in fact, there's a book written, HUL, CEO Factory. In fact, in HUL, we often say you can take you can take a person out of HUL, but you can't take a HUL out of a person. These are some
That's
of
a great phrase. That's a great phrase. I really like that phrase, that you can take a person out of HUL, but you cannot take HUL out of a person. It was great to hear such kind of and see, madam, being a marketing professional, there was always attractions for some brands, and HUL is always one of them. Being from a marketing background, always case studies related HUL, and you can say we used to learn. So that was always an attraction point. I had a dream to work with HUL, but again, I started my entrepreneurship in education and training domain, and that dream just remained a dream. But not HUL, but at least an employee who has dedicated so many years for HUL. I'm glad to have you. Thank you. Okay. So I think, see, definitely you are, I can say you are a successful lady in your corporate life, and you are a great example for women entrepreneurship and women empowerment. Sorry, a great example for women empowerment. And definitely you are into the entrepreneurship phase also now, because in a training and you can say coaching, by training and coaching, you are reaching to the students, you are reaching to the audiences. That is a good thing. And you are hello.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah.
Yes, you're back.
Yes. Some connection issue. Sorry for that. Okay, so you are the best example for you can say women empowerment. You can say that being such a powerful woman with a strong experience in corporate. So can you tell me what are those qualities via which one can succeed in his or her life, in corporate life or entrepreneurship or training and coaching domain?
Well, Vaibhav, that is a question that I anticipated. So
of course.
So I have actually written down a few points in case I forget. Uh, well, I would say I was reflecting on this yesterday, and I thought to myself that if I have been successful in some measure, it is not because of any qualities or any special skills that I had. It is just because of certain values which I tried to live out in my own small way. And I've listed them down, and they're really 5 values. Panch Mulya. The first is integrity or imandari. Integrity and honesty is the bedrock of success. And when I say integrity, I mean total transparency and honesty. Even to the extent of if you get a call, say, from your boss and you're late for a meeting, and you just say, well, I'm stuck in traffic and in the next 15 minutes, I will be there. I'm sorry. When you know that quite well that you haven't left home and your boss too knows it, this could really compromise your integrity. So that's what I mean, total transparency, where your actions and your words are in consonance. And I want to say this in Hindi, if I can. आप वही कहें जो आप करते हैं और वही करें जो आप कहते हैं. Which is what I want to say. Make sure that your actions and your words match. And then secondly, the second value which I have always maintained is respect. I've already told you the story of of J.R.D. Tata, and that taught me respect. And what is respect? It is just showing kindness and courtesy to somebody, to give them the dignity and the respect which is due to every human being, irrespective of what their position or status is. So if you just do this, you treat the chairman and the watchman in the same way, you're sure to win. And the third value, which has helped me, is responsibility or jimmedari. After all, you're employed by a company to do a job. You're being paid for it. So you're responsible for it. And so do every job OTIF, on time and in full. Take full responsibility for the job. And responsibility doesn't mean just delivering the result, but also accountability. When things go wrong, make sure that you own up the responsibility for it. Abdul Kalam has famously said that when things go wrong, you need to own full responsibility. And when things go right, you need to give full credit to others. And then I come to the fourth value, which is trust. When you're working in a company, it's relationships that really matter. Relationships with your colleagues, with your bosses, with other stakeholders in the company. And trust is the bedrock of relationships. All of you may have heard of Stephen Covey and his famous book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In that, he says that trust is like the glue of life. It is like the foundational principle which builds the relationship. Another author, Ralph Emerson, has said that trust is like a vase. If you break it, you may be able to put it together, but it will never be the same.
Of course. So, it is not a reversible process, of course.
Yes. So these are the kind of values which have, I think, helped me. And the last one I would say is commitment. Now, commitment and motivation are two different things. Motivation can help you get started, but it is commitment which will keep you along the way. Because you may stay motivated in certain circumstances when they arise, but if you're committed, whatever the circumstance is, you will not have any excuses but seek the result. So I think these are basically the things which have helped me, and hopefully they will help some of you as well.
Okay. No, of course. Those qualities, thinking about myself, when you are talking about those qualities, I really understood that I'm really lagging in some of the qualities, and I need to inculcate those qualities. And how that you are going to tell me, I'm going to connect with you after that. See, perception about corporates. See, at least my perception, or if from a student's point of view, a person is say at a specific level in a corporate, our perceptions is that it is a very boring person. He or she might be a very boring person, and he or she might not be having any hobbies or interests, just work, and 24 hours work, complete engagement, no work-life balance. So I would like to hear from you that hobbies and interests, do they lie in corporate life, or what about your hobbies and interests?
Well, my interests are, first of all, reading. I'm an avid reader, and I like to read around a lot of areas, mostly non-fiction.
Which is, I can say, you have. It is very much evident from your talks that you are a avid reader, because you are talking about so many things at the same time.
Yeah, but I actually have, I delight in reading all kinds of things: economics, human resources, market research, marketing. When I was in Johnson & Johnson, I read a lot of medical journals also. So that is one area of interest. Then traveling is another area of interest. And here, it's in the last few years, at least, I've been traveling more abroad than in this country, because not because I'm fond of sightseeing. I'm actually not fond of sightseeing, but it's more because I want to experience different cultures and different people. I'm fascinated by people and how people can be different from one culture to another, and how they can yet be same. And yoga is another interest. So I have been into yoga for very long, and meditation is an interest for the last 2.5 decades at least. In fact, in 2017, for the first time, I attended an international meditation program in Belgium, where even the president of Belgium was present. And it was a real experience, 169 people from maybe 100 countries. It was really a wow moment for me. So these are some of mine.
Of course, of course. Uh, Definitely. Again, it is again there are multiple interests. I can say not a single interest, but I would say that let's. I would like to know the secret from you. I would like to know the secret from you that if our students or suppose a fresher is there who has just joined the organization or student who is willing to enter into the corporate life, then what are the success mantras and success formulas you would like to give to them?
Well, one mantra which I normally give to students, and I don't know whether any of my students are present here. I think one from SNDT is here, maybe one or two.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes, your
maybe
students
something.
are there because they are complimenting you a lot that you are looking nice, you are looking awesome. Brenda madam is a Wikipedia and all those things comments are coming.
Okay, okay. So to some of my students, this mantra may be well known. I call it AAP, A-A-P. Well, some of them may not have heard it. The first A stands for action. Whatever you learn, whether it's in this program or in some other class or in college or through any book, if you don't put it in action, it's of no use. So, an action actually means hard work. So, if you want to succeed, you have really no choice. आपको सफलता चाहिए तो आपको मेहनत करनी ही पड़ेगी. And there is no option to hard work. All of you would have heard the famous story about the guru and the shishya, and the disciple wanted to know what it is what is the secret for success. And the guru tells him, meet me tomorrow morning at the riverfront. And when they meet the next morning, the Guruji takes him right into the water, deep in until the water is up to his neck. And then suddenly he puts his head down. And then when he brings him out of the water, he asks him, आपका सिर जब ये नीचे था तब आपको किस चीज की जरूरत थी? And the disciple says that I really wanted only breath. And then the Guruji says, that is the same kind of hard work you will have to put in if you want to succeed.
Great.
Then we come to the second A, which is attitude. And we all know that attitude determines your altitude. And in attitude, there are a few aspects two aspects actually I'd like to speak on. The first is self-confidence. Now, self-confidence is nothing but just being at peace with yourself. So you know what are your strengths, you know how to build on them, and you know how to take care of what you need to do to improve. So if you don't have self-confidence, there's not much you can do to succeed. So the first thing is to develop that. आत्मविश्वास की जरूरत है हमारे जिंदगी में, जैसे कि फूल में खुशबू की जरूरत. If a flower doesn't have fragrance, it is dead. And so it is with us if we don't have self-confidence. Along with self-confidence, you also need to have a positive mindset. Because if you think negatively, then you have failed already. But if you keep a positive mindset, you have much better chance. In fact, most people actually fail because of their fear. And 95% of this fear is just something that they fabricated in their mind. In fact, it is said, it matters not how many times you fail. What matters is how many times you got up. So don't let your fears derail you. Learn from your mistakes and go forward. And then I come to the last alphabet, which is P, which is perseverance and commitment to whatever you're doing. Now, it is very easy to start something, but to keep persevering with it is difficult. प्रेरित होना आसान है, but प्रेरित रहना मुश्किल.
I would like to clap. I cannot stop clapping myself for this particular sentence.
Don't worry, I have,
No, means no. I would like to tell that you were telling me that I have a problem in Hindi and my Hindi is not good, and it is better if I talk in English. But I can just see that how fluently you are speaking Hindi and phrases are coming, and you can say you are just bombarding the excellent sentences which are really very motivating. So I could not stop myself from clapping. So sorry for
Okay,
interruption.
thank you. So you have to persevere because it is said Rome was not built in a day. And it's like going to a gym. If you want to lose weight, you decide to go to a gym. The first day you come back and weigh yourself, is there any difference? No. After a week, no. After 3 months, maybe a little. But after 6 months or 1 year, surely not only you will see the difference, but others will see the difference too. So this is my kind of uh, mantra for success. And here I'd just like to add one thing. Apart from all these things, today what is really, really very important is your ability to, to win at the interview. Interviewing skills are just, I cannot overemphasize this, how important they are. If some of my trainers are listening to me, they will remember that when I said I would speak about interviewing skills in my sort of final, we have a final kind of exam where you do a presentation for 40 minutes. Some of my close friends said to me, listen, you're talking to the wrong audience. Today, suddenly it's become the right audience. Because today, if you see, interviewing skills are being studied world over. I'll just give you two examples. About 2 weeks ago, I got an invitation for an interviewing skill Zoom session. I didn't know from whom it was, so I attended. And I was so surprised that there were 70 to 80 professionals from around 40 countries in the world. And what was more astonishing was that every single one of them had more than 15 or 20 years of age. Obviously, they were facing a job loss. And they were willing and humble enough to go to basics and start learning in interviewing skills. In fact, many of you may have heard of Simon Sinek. I'm sure all the trainers here are familiar with him. Now, he's known as being a leadership guru, an infinite mindset guru. Somebody will tell you why you need to know your why. But you wouldn't think that he would teach interviewing skills. Probably not. Well, Simon Sinek is doing a course of various talks starting tomorrow. And out of the 5 subjects, one subject is interviewing skills. He has called it How to Land the Job You Love. In fact, I was going to give some similar title, but I changed it because there's no way I can compare with Simon Sinek. So I'm certainly going to be on his class. And what actually impressed me more is that while all his other courses cost, he's brought down the cost a lot, but they still cost about $80 to $100. In the case of this course, he has just said, pay what you can. But he simply realizes that people today who are unemployed need this so much, and they may not just have that $100 to spare. So I think to all of you students, I would say, whatever other skills you have picked up, even those who are out of a job and looking for a job, make sure you brush up on your interviewing skills, because today, they were always important, and today even more so, because resume, in fact, Michael Sinek is including resume in his, I saw the agenda, but today a resume may not be even something which you send by an email. It's probably going to be in the future answers which you will give to a robot, and you will have a couple of seconds to answer them. So also an interview is surely going to be an online interview, which is more challenging because you don't have the luxury of face-to-face contact. It is difficult for you to listen to what is not said. So that's a whole new ballgame. So keep this in mind. Over to you.
Yes, madam. It was very nice insights about that. My personal opinion is that every person is influenced by reading as well as a leader. Okay, reading and leading are the two influencing factors behind every person's journey in the life. Uh, Talking personally about myself, there are some leaders due to whom I am inspired, and I have read some books. I would not like to take the name, but some NLP related, mindfulness related books I have read. So those books influence my life. So I'm very much curious to know which is your favorite author and favorite book and your favorite leader.
Favorite author is very difficult to say, but I love Khalil Gibran, and not just the Prophet, but all his works, the consolidated work. Favorite books, there are so many. But one book that I really loved was The Geography of Thought. And as far as leaders go, I think there's not much to choose from. I would almost spontaneously say that it is the famous professor Yuval Noah Harari. I think he's one of the few uh, leaders of reason that we have today. I cannot talk about political leaders, other leaders, because there's no research done on them as yet. History will tell.
Okay. Uh, Again, one thing is that you talk about your interest and hobbies, but which is that one thing? What are those things for which you are most passionate about?
That's a no-brainer. That's a
Okay.
no-brainer. Because as you can see, my passion as I'm talking to you here, today I have only one passion, and it consumes all of my life, and that is to empower people to employment. I really am on a mission to empower at least 1,000 people from this country to employment, especially
Great.
students, and especially students from the underserved section. This is a dream which I carry with me every day and dream about every day.
No, because actually, I really think that, see, I'm into the many colleges and I'm associated with many colleges and all, but I can really see a demand and supply gap is there, because to get into the industry, to get into the corporates, some exclusive skills are required, and I think we should bridge that gap between experts like you and a student from, you can say, a rural area or from a tier 2, tier 3 cities. So that gap we need to bridge, I think. And really your mission is awesome, I will say. And you are most passionate about your passion and for others to transform the life of students and employment. That is really hats off for that. And at the end, coming end point of our session, I would like to ask you, would you like to give any message to our audiences via this interview, and apart from that, out of your experience and corporate, you can say, vision?
First of all, I want to reiterate the success formula of ARP: action, perseverance, action, attitude, and perseverance. If there's one takeaway you can take from this session, please let it be this. But there are a couple of messages I want to give. Three, in fact. One is be a giver. Second is be a team player. And third is be a lifelong learner. Why be a giver? There are basically three types of people. We have the takers who only keep taking. We have the givers who want to give generously without expecting much. And then we have the matchers. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You've done something for me, so I do something for you. And there is much research to show that ultimately in the workplace, it is the givers who succeed better in the end. The famous book by Adam Grant, Give and Take, is really a testimony to this. In fact, he says in that this even applies to political leaders. Now, I don't know about that, but certainly it did apply to great leaders, political leaders like George Washington, and Abraham Lincoln. If you read their stories, it certainly applies. So this is one. Secondly, be a team player. because nobody works in silos today. We work in teams, we collaborate in teams, and that is why, in fact, Professor Harari always says that collaboration is the only thing that can save this planet. Otherwise, humans are doomed to extinction. Maybe the cockroaches will survive, but humans won't. So that's why it's very important. There is a very famous African saying which goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. So keep this in mind.
Nice.
And the
Amazing phrase.
And the third last thing is, which I really believe in, is that be a lifelong learner. Because what got you to where you are today will not get you where you want to go tomorrow. And so, in fact, Maxwell's famous quote is, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And your answer should be, students, your answer should be every day. Every single day, make sure that you learn something new, whether it is on the computer or something new you've read, or what. Don't go to sleep a single night unless you have learned something new, because everything is going to change. Even the kind of jobs, the kind of skills will all change in 5 to 7 years. And now that you're young, you have a flexible mindset, and keep learning so that you will become a lifelong learner. And these are the three things. And lastly, after all that I've told you, I want to end on a message of hope. And here I'd like to quote from the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai. Recently, I heard his commencement speech. It was only in May. Commencement speech to the entering graduates of Stanford University. In fact, he shot this himself in his back garden, and it was a short speech of just 7 minutes, but an amazing speech. And I'll just tell you a few things he said. He started by saying, "You will prevail." And he said, in these days of doom and gloom, it is very difficult to hope, but you will prevail because other generations have also done it. And then he went on to say, the long arc of history has shown that each generation betters the earlier one, because each generation becomes the foundation of the next generation. And so I want to end it with the same message, saying, you will prevail. आपको सफलता मिल ही जाएगी. And with that, I would say, thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you, Brenda. It was an amazing message from you. And coming at the end of a session, I would like to tell that if you want to get in touch with us, that Brenda madam has already told that what are the qualities are required, soft skills are required. If you want to know more, then we have shared email ID with you. You can any interaction you can have via that email ID. Brenda ma'am will be answering to your queries. And I would like to tell that visit our website www.shareskillsonline.com and be in touch. Our YouTube channel is also there. Facebook page is there. Different experts are coming. Different skills are being shared. And I'm really thankful to the God and to destiny that people like Brenda madam is with me and is supporting me. And I'm learning a lot from them. So thank you, Brenda madam, once again. And on this note, I would like to tell you that we are ending this session. Thank you very much. Keep hopes alive.
Thank you. And thank you all for being here, whoever stayed till the end. Students, a special bonus to you if you have stayed on till the end. What Vaibhav said is true. If there's any help you need just before an interview, I am available. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.